read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K Williams is all about.
Mike Gray claims 2 of his professional kickboxing fights were canceled because of his new manager's troubled past. Leo Brooks says his contract with the plaintiff is ironclad, so he doesn't owe a dime.
Gentlemen, I see I've got Mike Gray here as my plaintiff, Leo Brooks as my defendant. Mr. Gray, you're suing Mr. Brooks here for $2,000. Tell me what brings you to court today.
So I'm here today suing Leo Brooks for $2,000 because I have scheduled 2 fights that I had upcoming, and they were each for $1,000. And pretty much I got emails from a promoter that since I'm associated with Leo Brooks and I'm contracted with him, he had a past gambling experience a few years ago that he never brought to light. And because of that now, because I'm associated with and still contracted with him, my fights are canceled. So I'm suing him now today because I want the $2,000 that I lost.
Okay, so the $2,000 is to replace the $2,000 you would have earned had your fights gone
Yes, that is correct, ma'am.
Okay, great.
And he didn't, and we discussed, and he doesn't want to let me off my contract.
All right, so Mr. Brooks, talk to me about this contract. You are what, a manager?
Yeah, currently.
Okay, and you manage prize fighters? What kind of fighters?
I have, a few fighters I train, and he was my upcoming fighter.
Okay.
I've seen a lot, and, I contracted him to do his first 6 fights for 10%. I'll take 10% of it. And
so to earn that 10%, Mr. Brooks, you're what? You're finding the fights? You're booking the fights? What are you doing?
He booked the fights, yes.
You booked the fights?
Yes.
Okay, so you had booked 2 fights for this man?
No, he previously booked 2 of his own.
Okay.
And he mentioned it to me, and I had reached out to the promoters to get some, to check up on the weigh-ins and some administrative details regarding to that. And
but
after
you were not going to get a cut of that? Or were you going to get a cut of that?
No, he wasn't just
No, because they were pre-existing.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, so these are 2 fights you had already booked on your own.
Yes.
And they were already set and ready to go.
Yes. So
Okay.
pretty much, me and Leo Brooks met. We met because I was at a friend's fight.
Okay.
And we met there. Him and I were conversing. We were talking. And I was telling him a little about myself, that I'm an up-and-coming fighter. And that...
And what is this, MMA, kickboxing? What are you doing?
Kickboxing.
You're a kickboxer?
Yes, I'm
okay.
a kickboxer.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So we're discussing our friend's fight. So I was telling him what I'm actually a kickboxer. I'm 28 years old. I'm up and coming. And he was pretty much like, he was a salesperson.
Sure.
He sold me himself that he was telling me, oh, I know this promoter. I could get you to the top. You could be a rising star. So he sold me. He blindsided me, and he made himself sound like a Don King, that he was all the way on top.
Well, I mean, that's the business, though, right, Mr. Gray? He saw talent. He saw a star in the making, and he says, I can make some money off of him, and maybe we can make some money together. So you like the way it sounded, though?
I love the way it sounded. I did, because I've been booked. These were my first 2 fights professionally that I actually booked by myself.
Right.
And I always wanted representation and manager.
To get to that next level.
So I showed them the videos of what I got, and he was actually interested. And I told him, I said, look, tomorrow come to the gym, watch me train. So he came in, he saw what he liked, and pretty much we got down to contracts. And he's like, look, I want to sign you for 6 fights. I'm going to get 10% of your fights. And then after that, we went from there. And then that's when I told them that I already booked 2 fights myself for $1,000. It's not much, but it's something to start with.
And it's all your money.
Yes.
Okay, so at what point, sir, first of all, do you have such agreement with you in court today? Let me see. Do you have the contract?
Yes, I have the contract.
Give your folder to my bailiff. Give the whole folder.
I have the contract, and I have the email of the promoter of canceling the fight due to his gambling addiction.
Okay, so let's start with the contract. Okay. This is the contract. Okay, great. So this is for a kickboxing management agreement between these two, Mr. Gray here and Mr. Brooks. It is for the duration of 6 fights, as you two have told me, client, manager. 10% of each fight that you book, you get. You'll arrange all the booking in the business, and it starts on September. You both have signed it. So this is an enforceable agreement by my standards. Excellent.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
You never, ever, ever, Mr. Gray, sign a contract that is clear about how you get into the agreement, but is unclear about how you get out of it.
And later.
And why did she kick you out?
So what happened was, well, originally I was staying with my girlfriend who cheated on me, and then she kicked me out.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a dispute between Mike Gray and his ex-manager Leo Brooks over a past gambling problem.
So talk to me, Mr. Gray, about when it became knowledge within y'all's industry that you were now working with this man, leading to a problem.
So I didn't know nothing of his past, what he did. So when we met, we discussed everything. He pretty much, like I said, he sold me on who he knows, what he could do for me, and that he could get me to the top to make a bunch of money. So I always wanted to be signed, so I got excited.
Hold on, wait. You know, when people start talking about a bunch of money, I like to know what they talking about, right, Elijah? Because everybody got a different standard of what a bunch of money is.
We never discussed.
Well, I'm finding some stuff you didn't discuss out, Mr. Gray, in real time. So let me get to you, Mr. Brooks. So this is a young man, rising star, on his own, without any representation. He can get $1,000 per fight. What is a lot of money? What was the rate in which you could book him for?
I was aiming for bigger contracts for
like what, Mr. Brooks?
$5,000.
$5,000. Okay, so that was what you sold him, right? On the concept. That's what you were buying into, sir. You were thinking that you were going to go from making $1,000 outright to potentially $5,000 minus 10%, so $500 goes to him, and then you were supposed to have $4,500 per fight. That's what you expected, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's fair, right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and then you're saying at some point, word got out that y'all were doing business together.
Yep.
And it became a problem. Tell me how.
It became a problem because he should have told me about his past addictions of him gambling and him gambling on fights. Because in the sport of kickboxing, it's illegal. Because of this, we know each other. I can't fight. I lost my fight. And I want out my contract. And he's telling me, no, you're not getting out your contract. We signed a six-fight contract, a 6-fight deal. So no.
Okay. What you're telling me is per this agreement, which is for 6 fights that you are represented. Right now, you don't have anything on the table.
Nope.
Correct.
Okay. You said something else I wanted to go back to, which is that he will not let you out of the contract.
Nope.
So you've only been in the contract for a week. You're now finding out, after you've signed on the dotted line, that he might cost you as much money as he could make you, basically, right? And so now you want to part company. But this man has provided me with an enforceable contract. Why do you think you should be able to get out of the contract, sir?
Because I feel, because of his past, it's probably going to lead on to more things in the future, and a lot of promoters are not going to want to work with us. So if I'm actually by myself, or I could find new management company, I won't have to deal with this in the future. Because I booked 2 fights by myself.
Yeah, you did. Because you drew the contract up, sir, you were considered the drafter. I'm going to construe any problems I see in this contract against you. Why? Because you created it, or your team created it. So there's some good things in this contract, and there's some things that I don't like. It's got a term. It starts on September 1. Okay, great. We've got your fee at 10%. Cool. It's for 6 fights. Duration of the contract. Got it. It talks about your scope, which is the bookings and the business dealings. And then it's got your right of exclusivity, that you are the only person to be representing this talent. That all looks good. What's missing, and I hope everybody in this courtroom is listening to this next statement, because I don't care if it's a lease agreement on an apartment, I don't care if it's a work contract. I don't care if it's a prenuptial agreement with somebody you might be about to marry. You never, ever, ever, Mr. Gray, sign a contract that is clear about how you get into the agreement, but is unclear about how you get out of it. I'm going to repeat it for everybody in this courtroom. Never, ever, 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 ever sign a deal that does not make it abundantly clear how you get out of the deal. It's very important. I learned that lesson the very hard and expensive way early in my career. So you're in court asking me to do what? Get out of your contract.
Yes,
the problem, there's no legal mechanism in this contract for me to let you out of it. He has not provided that. See, what you have is 6 fights. 6 fights could take, he could book 6 fights in a week. Or 6 fights could take 6 years. Now, lucky for you, I think that's unreasonable. I think that you cannot adequately submit a contract to my court that you want me to enforce, sir, without an exit clause. So therefore, I am going to allow you to get out of the contract because it's deficient in that area.
Thank you.
But as it comes to this $2,000, I feel for you, son, I really do. But you're going to have to pay for your lesson like I had to pay for mine. I'm going to tell you why. There's a little something called due diligence. Do you know what that means?
No, ma'am.
Okay, due diligence is another one. I guess it's Law School 101 up in here today at Judge Eboni's court. Due diligence says that I have a responsibility to do some research, ask some questions, ask around. What is the reputation for this person who I'm considering doing business with? Is it one of honesty? Is it one of trustworthiness? Is it one of good business dealings? And when you fail to do that due diligence on the front end, sir, you got to pay for that. That is your failure. He has a known reputation. It's so known that the second somebody found out you were working with him, they dropped you like a hot potato, didn't they? Yeah. That means it probably would have taken you 2 phone calls at best to find this information out. You failed to do it, and for that, sir, you got to pay. So I hate that you lost your $2,000, but next time do your due diligence, and you won't lose any money. The court rules in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed. Good luck to you, young man.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
Sorry, kid. Everything was finalized on the contract. Business is business.
Sir, you have any final words?
Next time you should be honest and don't be a con artist.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
We were victims of robbery and break-in, and
Wait, somebody robbed you personally?
robbed the apartment that we were staying at, or that I was staying at.
This is Equal Justice. Chris Markham claims his cousin let him stay with her after his breakup, then abruptly kicked him out. Shayna Wilkerson says her cousin was the reason she was robbed, so she no longer felt safe with him there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I see I've got Chris Markham here as my plaintiff, Shayna Wilkerson as my defendant. Mr. Markham, you are suing the defendant for $4,300. What brings you to court today?
Your Honor, I'm here because I'm suing my cousin for illegally evicting me and kicking me out when she knew I had nowhere to go.
And why did she kick you out?
So what happened was, originally I was staying with my girlfriend who cheated on me, and then she kicked me out. We've been close over the years. I've done some stuff for her in the past. She's done stuff for me, and I just thought, who would help but family?
Okay.
So our initial agreement was 4 months. I would be out of her hair after 4 months.
Okay.
So what happened was around the 5th week mark, we had a little bit of an incident. It was
That's what you're calling it?
It was a little.
Ma'am, please go ahead, sir.
It was a little bit of an incident. So, I went out with some friends. We had some drinks. We were having a good time, and that night we were victims of robbery and break-in.
Wait, somebody robbed you personally?
Robbed the apartment that we were staying at, or that I was staying at.
Her apartment?
Her apartment, yeah. But,
Okay, let's go ahead and tell the whole truth now.
Yeah.
So her apartment was robbed?
Yes.
By who?
We still don't know at the time. There's been guesses, but I was dead asleep when they were in there, and I didn't hear anything, and I didn't let anyone in. I didn't rob the place. I was robbed too, actually.
What was taken from you?
I had a tablet stolen from me.
Okay.
And she had a few other things.
Did you bring people back to this woman's apartment?
Not that I remember.
That you remember.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
I came home the next day around noon. Apartment's trashed. Stuff's missing. He's passed out. I'm shaking him, trying to wake him up. It took a while. I think he was still wasted.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Chris Markham, who blames his cousin Shayna Wilkerson for kicking him out.
Ma'am, welcome to court here today. It sounds like there was quite a commotion here. You were robbed, and you believe it's his fault. Why?
Well, Your Honor, I came home the next day around noon. Apartment's trashed. Stuff's missing. He's passed out. I'm shaking him, trying to wake him up. It took a while. I think he was still wasted. And he can't remember what happened. No recollection of anything. I'm missing a 50-inch TV, a smart tablet, a laptop, and a gold watch.
I'm confused. I don't know why you're sitting over there for the defense. It sounds like you need to be in the plaintiff's position.
I agree.
Everybody's letting them move in, letting them stay for free, letting them eat their groceries.
I always said I would get back on my feet, and
Are you on your feet now, sir?
Not. I'm on my way. I think.
Tell
I'm
me
getting
what
there.
on your feet looks like for you. I'm curious.
Steady job, good car.
Do you have a car?
I don't have a truck anymore now. I had to sell it to pay for all my losses.
Okay. Real tragic story. Before I make a ruling here, ma'am, do you have any final words for the court as to why you should not be responsible for his rent and unexpected storage fees? Because he's saying this is all your fault because he anticipated to have 3 months of free rent.
Yes, I was trying to help out a family member. I just was trying to give him a place to stay, and I made it clear that he was a guest, and he made me a victim in my own home, and I don't feel safe. I'm probably going to need to move, which is going to cost me money, and I don't know why I would be held responsible for something he's brought on.
Judge Eboni's verdict when Equal Justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
Like I said, in between jobs, I work construction, so I was taking jobs as I could, but
Okay, so there's some money coming in at some point.
barely. But you know, it's expensive out
No,
here.
no, no. You're saying barely, sir, but you've presented the court a receipt that says $4,000 worth of rent was paid.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court's ready to make a ruling here. I do find in favor of the defendant, sir. Clearly, you had $4,300 somewhere, somehow. Came out the clear blue sky. These hard times must have eased up. Therefore, I'm not going to hold this woman responsible for rent that you should have already been paying. This was your attempt to freeload, if I've ever seen one. And this court's not going to support it. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
Any final thoughts for each other?
I feel validated, and I just hope that this is a wake-up call for him to grow up and take responsibility for his life.
No, it feels like you're enjoying this, so I have nothing else to say.
Okay. Judge has made a ruling. Please follow me.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.